With that said, it's Wednesday. Let's play a little bit of what's more likely. I got 4 of them for you. I'm pretty excited, jazzed up for these ones. We talked a little bit of Aaron Rodgers, okay? And Aaron Rodgers potentially coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers 20 years ago, replacing Ben Roethlisberger. They got a whole situation going on. What could have been, man? What could have been? But you could ask the same question. What if Tommy Maddox never gets hurt? Well, Ben still probably starts, wins a couple of Super Bowls. And Pittsburgh Steelers are probably in the same spot, which is great. Aaron might be a little bit of a different story. If the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Aaron Rodgers, what's more likely? That they would have won more Super Bowls with good old A-Rod or more Super Bowls with Ben, which is 2?
Ooh, unfortunately, and this is not a disrespect to Aaron Rodgers, the starting quarterback. Stay with me now. I think because he's only won one Super Bowl, I think it's more likely that they would have won less than what they have won in that time. Not that I think Aaron Rodgers would have been incapable of winning more. He could have won more, sure, but I have no proof of that. So I think in the meantime, I have to go with it would have been more likely that he would have won less than 2 had the Steelers selected him back in the first round of 2005.
I love that because you know what? Ben doesn't get the credit that he deserves, and it gets me upset all the time. But was I like the biggest fan of Ben Roethlisberger? No, not as a fan. I wasn't. As a media member, I wasn't. Like, Ben was never the dude that like came up and gave me the best answer. You know what I mean? Sometimes Ben looked at me like, you are scum. And I was like, all right, pal, I get it. I am, but let's relax here, brother. Let's relax. But I will never back down from the fact that I think Ben is one of the most underrated players in Steelers history. Like, this dude and what he did for the Pittsburgh Steelers organization is unmatched. It really is. Like, without Ben Roethlisberger, you don't win those 2 Super Bowls. People will say the defense. The defense, I agree with you. Without that defense, you don't win those Super Bowls. But if Cordell Stewart, if Tommy Maddox, if Landry Jones, if Dennis Dixon, if Michael Vick, if whoever you want to toss out there is the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers for the last 20 years, they don't win 2 Super Bowls. Maybe Aaron, but Ben and what he did for this team, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I love that answer. Shout out to good old Big Ben Roethlisberger, who, I mean, is now a part of the media and I think likes us a little bit more. Number 2 for you. The Pittsburgh Steelers, we're talking TJ Watt draft or TJ Watt trade constantly. We're going to continue to talk about it. I bet you it's a tweet a week that Andrew Filipponi tossed out there, which I'm very grateful for. Very grateful for it. I woke up this morning and said, what are we going to talk about? Nothing. Jameson Williams. That's a cool one. Let's talk about Jameson Williams. Well, if it happens, okay, if the Pittsburgh Steelers actually pull off the move we never saw coming, what's more likely? That they get a draft pick higher or lower than what they gave up for DK Metcalf?
Oh boy. Call me crazy. Call me a pot stir, call me whatever. I think it is more likely that they would receive a draft pick lower than the one that they gave up. So a second round pick for DK Metcalf, meaning I think it is more likely that they would acquire a third round pick or farther back in the draft in a hypothetical TJ Watt trade. Is that what people want to hear? No. Is it what I want to say? No, but it's what I feel. I have to be honest.
I don't disagree with you. I think it's very hard for the Pittsburgh Steelers to get anything more than a third round pick for TJ Watt right now. Maybe a second, but I think that you're pushing it. Maybe a third and some, but those first round aspirations, they're not there, man. They're not there. They should be. Players should be valued higher, but he's 31 years old and doesn't have a contract, and teams will look at that and say, sorry, pal, if you were cheap, there's a good conversation to have here, but you're not. I like that one as well. Let's keep it trucking here. And number 3, let's stick on TJ Watt here. Okay. TJ's coming back. He's going to play with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2025. And at some point that might change, but today where I stand, where you stand, where we all stand, hurt and neck and all, the Pittsburgh Steelers expect TJ Watt to be in uniform come week 1 of the 2025 season, whether he's there on day 1 of training camp or not. Okay, great. So what happens? What's more likely. TJ Watt leads the NFL in sacks in 2025 or has the worst statistical sack season in his NFL career outside of the 5.5 that he had the year that he missed 10 games, which is his rookie season at 7 sacks.
Oh man. I mean, I would be an even worse version of myself if I were to say it's more likely for him to have the worst season after shouting from the rooftops that I think they need to pay this man an ungodly amount of money. So I'm going to confidently say that it is more likely that TJ Watt sets a new record, maybe goes 23 sacks, something like that, than he is to get less than 7 sacks in 2025. The man's going to come back motivated, and 23 is lofty, sure. 22.5 lofty as well, but a hungry TJ Watt, a motivated and pissed off TJ Watt scares me.
Scares me, dude. Scares me. Anybody, you want to, does anybody remember what happened the last time TJ Watt held out at training camp and then showed up and played in the NFL? Nobody? Yeah, he tied the single season sack record. That's what happened. TJ is the scariest human being on the planet, man. I'm not joking. I'm not joking, dude. I caught this guy one time. I'll tell you a story in the locker room. I'm in the locker room. Alex Highsmith wins Defensive Player of the Week or something. It was awesome. TJ talks every Friday. This is like a Wednesday. So I was like, all right, I'm going to shoot my shot with TJ here. I'm going to go up to TJ and be like, yo, dude, can I get one quote on Alex so that I can write this story? Like, give me something. And I walked up to him. He wasn't expecting me because he talks on Fridays, and that's a well-known thing. And he looks at me. He's a little rattled that I was there. He didn't see me coming. And I was like, hey, dude, can I get one quote? And this dude like stuttered his words. Like he couldn't get it. It's like me right now. Couldn't get anything out. And was just like, yeah, I got to go to a meeting, dude, but I'll get you. And left. And in that moment, dude, him stuttering on his words still scared the shit out of me. Like I still looked at him and went, wow, that was so intimidating. Why are you so scary? Why are you such a scary human being? TJ is the scariest human alive, man. There's nothing in me that says this dude's going to go backwards. There's just nothing. There's not a single part of me. And if he does, then, he proved me wrong, but it's fine. I'll bet on greatness all day long. I will bet on greatness. And with that said, we'll finish off with this one. What's more likely, my friend? We've talked wide receiver all day long. We've named every single one of them in the NFL at this point. Everyone. If you play wide receiver in the NFL, you have been linked to the Pittsburgh Steelers in a potential trade and or signing. Well, I'll ask you this. What's more likely, Jacob? The Pittsburgh Steelers add a wide receiver before week 1 of the NFL season, or they add a safety?
I'll keep it short and sweet. Safety.
Yes.
I think we're going to see some secondary help come in, and I think we are going to all still be wondering where and when some wide receiver help will be coming to Pittsburgh once that happens.
I agree. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go add a defensive back. I'm pretty confident in it. And I've not heard, this is a prediction. I've not heard anything. This is a prediction. And then they will see where their wide receiver position takes them. But I do not at any point right now expect the news of a wide receiver. Not yet. When we get to training camp, things could change. When they see how good or bad Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson are, things can change. But for right now, you want to know where they're looking? You want to know who they're calling? Justin Simmons, Julian Blackmon, Jordan Whitehead, all these guys on the open market to say who's coming to Pittsburgh to be our safety to replace Minkah Fitzpatrick. I 100% agree. And with that, that is my 4. What's more likely? We got one here from Lindsay, and then if there's others, we'll grab them on the back half of this break, but I want to make sure we get this one out here. What's more likely? These TJ trade rumors die down, or the next rumor is we are trading TJ for Brandon Ayuk. Welcome back to the Brandon Ayuk saga.
Yeah, let's do it. 1 year later, it's a reunion special. I think it's more likely that we are going to hear something like that, like a TJ Watt for Brandon Ayuk trade, then this stuff's going to die down until pen hits paper and until that ink dries and an announcement is made and Noah is scrambling. as to why this is the one day he decided to golf or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he signs. That is the only time that this will change, and that is the only moment that these rumors will stop. Until then, it's going to get crazier and crazier. It's going to be Brandon Ayuk. It's going to be Justin Jefferson. It's going to be Brandon Ayuk plus an ownership stake in the San Francisco 49ers. It's going to get crazy. But then TJ Watt will sign, and it all will die down, and we will just be like, thank goodness.
I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. Anything is possible. And until TJ Watt signs a contract, anything remains possible.